friends, welcome. This is Julie, and today I'm going to be making a card with the August paper pad club from Not Too Shabby. I have the Apple Days paper pad and the Orchard to Oven paper pad, and it just has a beautiful apple harvest theme this month. There's an add-on ephemera and the add-on stamp of the month that are also available. When I start to do my design work each month, I just create a container. I have like a little container that I put all the pieces that don't make it onto a card, anything that I pull out. If I pull out ephemera out of the pack, or if I cut some of the cut aparts, if I stamp something and color it, if I die cut something, or I have scraps, it all just goes into this container. And then the next time I need to make a card, I just pull it out and kind of figure out, sift through it, figure out what I want to make that day and kind of what's speaking to me that day. And so here I have some paper that is cut with the mini accordion album die, as well as I think I'm going to use that stamped apple pie that I colored with Copics, and some of the ephemera. And we're just going to make a cozy country farmhouse style card today. Oh, and I am using a sentiment from the Fall Friends PDF printable that I designed for the Autumn Greetings Community Reward. So if you have an Autumn Greetings retreat kit, then you will have access to this PDF. So let's get started. So I'm going to start out my composition with the accordion album die cuts. I have that So Saffron layering mat for it. Just I thought that brought out the warmer tones of the printed paper. And I think I'm going to use a doily, and I'm just sifting through, kind of just auditioning things, trying to see what pieces I want to put together. I usually like to put 3 images and a sentiment together in my little collage clusters. And I'm just deciding how I want it. If I want like a grounding piece, and I am going to pull in a grounding piece. It looks like it was already pre-cut to this width, so that was easy. That grounding piece is looking nice. I'm going to add a little bit of inking to the edges of it, just to give a little contrast between the two papers. It's not going to be all that noticeable, but I am going to add a vintage photo around the edges of the 2 pattern papers, just to kind of soften the edges between each layer. And once I have those inked, I'm just going to start laying down and gluing down the pieces that I don't want to move. I already know that those are the backbone pieces, so I am going to put that grounding piece down first. I don't typically have a plan when I am crafting, so this is kind of my process. I just pick up the pieces, shift them around, then glue down a layer, then shift them around again, make sure that I still like the placement. Think about whether or not things are contrasting enough. If not, I'm going to add some vintage photo distress ink there. And I did aged mahogany around the red circle. I'm going to audition the whole layout again just to see how I like it. I thought that it needed a little something behind, so I added some lace, and I'm just going to use some score tape on either side of the back of that pattern paper piece, and then secure the ribbon with that score tape around the edges. I know a lot of this isn't going to show, but I love just a little bit of something peeking out. The texture adds a little bit of homey country style to this, and I'm just loving the little details. That's always what I look for in a card, is just the little tiny details that you don't see on first glance, but when you take a little closer look, then there's a little surprise here and there. So I'm just gluing that down with some liquid adhesive to the saffron mat. And I have an A2 card base that we're going to put this all on once we get everything how we want it. So next up, I'm just going to take that doily sentiment piece, and I am going to glue it to our card background. And then I'll take a little bit of liquid adhesive and glue the entire yellow background to the card base. And then we can start building our final layers. So I always like a little dimension to my card, so I know that I'm going to pop up at least one of the images. And I know that I want that floral ephemera to be the back layer. So I'm going to be gluing that one down first, and I am going to cut a couple pieces of just scrap cardstock and layer them together for a little lift to the bottom of that image so that it is level when I lay it down with the layers over the layers of the panel that's already there. So I originally thought that I wanted just the pie to be on an upper layer, but I then decided that I thought it would be really cute if the girl was popped up as well. So I'm going to have the girl and the pie on the same layer above the sentiment and the floral image. So I'm going to use some thin dimensionals on both the girl and the pie image, and the top of the pie image is just going to be added to the girl image with liquid adhesive. And then I'm just going to take some thin dimensional dots and put that on the bottom half of that pie image, just so that our girl and our pie are on the same level. And then I'm just going to place that little pie image down so it covers the bottom of her skirt and you don't see any of the cut off part of her skirt. And I will place that down. I'm going to add in a few more dimensionals just to keep everything really level, and then it's time to embellish. So I'm going to bring in some flat back adhesive pearls just to add to that kind of shabby chic country feel, the vibe. This is always the hardest part for me, is just deciding where the embellishments go. And I put some down and then I decide, no, I want it to be more centered on, just bringing that eye around the whole image. So I move some of them down, and then I decide, oh, I do need some up at the top. So I add some more up at the top until I get a nice little arrangement that I'm at least partially happy with. I think there's always there's got to be some sort of art to how to decide exactly where to put those, but I'm always fiddling just a bit here and there and deciding, sizes and spacing. But I did eventually decide on 5 pearls for the embellishments. So that is our finished card. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you would give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. I do love hearing from you. Thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one.